Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers, and welcome to another edition of the Performance Brief, where we give you one breakthrough business idea in just 5 minutes. My guest today is Richard Barrett. Richard, a very warm welcome.
Thank you.
The last time we spoke at the end of the summer, you were in Tuscany. Where are you today?
In London.
Ah, brilliant. It's back for the winter?
Yep, back for the winter.
Great. So, for those of you who don't know him, Richard is an author, speaker, and internationally recognised thought leader on the evolution of human values in business and society. He is founder and chairman of the Barrett Values Centre, a fellow of the World Business Academy, and former values coordinator at the World Bank. And I could go on, but Richard likes to keep it short. So
I do.
Richard, our subject today is why values-driven organisations are the most successful on the planet. And we're 5 minutes for the interview. So are you ready?
Absolutely.
Great. I'll
Is
start.
that the first question?
Okay, so tell me what it means to be values-driven.
Well, it means that when you make your decisions, you don't make belief-based decisions. You make decisions which come from the deeper part of you. As we grow up, we learn to live in our environment, and the way we learn to live is through the beliefs that we pick up. But once we get to our mid-20s, if we manage to individuate, we begin to ask ourselves, well, who am I really and what do I value? At that point in time, we begin to shift from belief-based decision-making to values-based decision-making. It's really what's really important to me at the deepest level of my being.
Right. So what evidence is there that being value-driven impacts the performance of an organisation?
Well, I've written a whole book about it, the value-driven organization. And so what it means is that when you are values-driven, as I said, you make decisions from this deeper place. And when you care about your employees and you bring those values to bear on your employees and focus on what are the needs of your employees. So you value your employees and you value what they value, and what they need is what they value. So you create a culture that focuses on needs, but needs are actually values. Whatever we need is what we value. And so values-driven organization is focusing on employees' needs.
Right. Okay. Get that. So what are the key factors that significantly influence organizational performance, or what are those needs that impact performance?
Well, I talk about the 7 levels of consciousness, 7 stages of development, and so what you need to be able to do as an organization is satisfy the needs of all stages of development, all levels of consciousness, and so you want to be able to satisfy employees' survival needs, in other words, a reasonable salary. You want to be able to satisfy their relationship needs, a friendly atmosphere to work, their performance needs, so that they feel that they are asked to do quality work and that they can be coached and mentored as they and improve. They feel empowered. They feel that the organization has a sense of purpose. They feel that they're able to make a difference, and they feel like they are being of service to the greater good. And so the key idea here is to focus the organization's attention on all of those. Now, most organizations really just care about making money and performance, and that's how they make money. But what I'm saying is you need to look at the full spectrum of needs, which equates to a full spectrum of values.
Right. So where does the process of building a high-performing, values-driven organisation begin?
Well, it begins with leadership commitment. If the leaders are not committed to the idea of valuing in their employees then and building this values-driven culture, then you may as well forget it, because the leaders of organization actually create the culture. Culture is a reflection of leadership consciousness. And so if the leaders are not on board with this endeavor, there's actually no point in going any further, because you won't be successful. Anyhow, if the leaders are successful, if the leaders are committed to building a value-driven organization, well, that starts a whole process. And the first job really is to measure the culture by mapping the values. And that's what we do at the Barrett Values Center. We map values of the organization and look at what is working and not working in different demographic groups, so that we can get a detailed diagnostic of what needs to change.
Okay. We've got 30 seconds to go, Richard. What are the most common mistakes made in culture changing programs like that?
Well, the most common mistake is leaders forget that the culture of the organization is a reflection of leadership consciousness, but it's also a reflection of the values that previous leaders had, which are embedded in the systems, policies, procedures, and structure. Yep. And so you can do a cultural transformation effort working with the existing leaders, but unless you go back and look at all the policies, procedures, etc., you won't change the incentive. So you have to look at that as well as the behaviors of the current leaders. So that often gets forgotten and really compromises the cultural transformation project.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. So folks, the couple of links will be below the video, but just for you, www.valuescenter.com or www.richardbarrett.net.